Hello everyone and welcome. If you can hear me loud and clear, please let me know in the comments box below. Welcome to our live Q&A. So today again, like what we did last week, I'll be doing a Q&A where I get to answer your questions. And so if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments box below and I'll do my best to respond to those questions. Right, so I can see here that right, looks like the sound is all great. Fantastic. So before we get started, I would like to thank everyone for leaving all the comments because this gives me content for me to have this show. And also, if you have any questions right now on the show, please let me know in the comments box below. And before we get started, I'd like to welcome Cassandra, Carl, Lawrence, Sagar. Good to see you, Carl. Naam, I think. Good to see you as well. And who have I left out? Samuel, good to see you as well. Awesome, great. All right, so what we're going to do today is, like we did before, it's going to be a Q&A. So I'll be answering a few questions and anything that you may be struggling with in regards to web design. All right, great. So I hope everyone is healthy there. You know, there's this thing going around, it's crazy. So please keep safe and just try the best to stay healthy. All right, guys, so I want to start by answering the first question, which I got in my comments. And the question went along the lines of, Mac, I live in a third world country. So how do I market myself to countries like UK, America, Canada, and so on? And my response to that in the comments was not explained very well, so I thought I'll take this opportunity to explain it in this video. So when you design websites, the main thing you want to do, especially if you want to reach like different clients all over the world, is to create a brand. And what I mean by that is to have some sort of online presence. You need to have a blog, and on that blog, you need to be doing either video or podcasts. So I would highly recommend video. Podcast is good, but video actually works really, really well. The reason why I'm suggesting video is because when you do video, it's like you're already halfway, or I would say 80% of the way to get to know, or for the client to get to know who you are. So as you put out content there that helps customers, that helps clients, or whatever field that you're targeting, this is how people get to know who you are, and if they like, you know, pretty much how you present and how you come across and how confident you are. This is how you're going to get to all the other markets outside where you are. So in my opinion, it doesn't matter where you are. You could be in India, you could be in Bangladesh, you could be in a country in Africa. It doesn't really matter. If you have something to offer and you have something of value in regards to web design, I'm pretty confident that you can actually get any client anywhere in the world as long as you're providing a lot of value. But you do need to create your persona, your brand, to show people who you are and what you're capable of and what you can do. And like I said, this can be done by creating a YouTube channel. Come on, guys, a YouTube channel is easy. You know, it's free, just like what I'm doing right now. It may seem like it's very, very complicated and I have all these skills. I do all these videos. I don't even have like broadcast skills. I just taught myself to speak to camera and try and present to you as much as I can in regards to design and so on and so forth. And this is how we have sort of like, and I'm sure you can agree with me, we've sort of like built a connection. So every time I come here live, I'm expecting my fans, you know, people that watch my videos to be there. So I have an emotional connection with you guys. And I mean, I can't explain how amazing it is. And last time I had a look at the map of the world, and I'm in countries like Somalia, Denmark, you know, all over the place. So this is huge. And like I said, it doesn't matter where you are. Right now, I'm reaching people in different continents. So you can start wherever you are, and if you start producing content tips on how to help small business owners or whatever field that you design to target your web design to, you are going to make it. So just put yourself in the deep end, start creating content, and I'm pretty sure people will love it. And you may be thinking, well, I need all this gear for me to be able to do this. To be honest, you don't really need a lot of gear. I mean, you can use the phones that you have. If you have a smartphone, start with that. Start creating videos, start giving tips. And it doesn't mean that you have to wait until you're an expert for you to do this. You can start this right away. Like with me, I learn as I go. Right now, I'm actually looking into a software called MailPoet. I've never used this before. It's actually a solution for email marketing within WordPress. I've never used it before, so I've taken time out to really learn how to use it and then teach it to you guys. So I don't have to wait, or you don't have to wait until you're an expert for you to start doing this. All right, guys, let's move on. Let's take a look here and let's see if we have any questions so far. I can't pronounce the name here. But the question is it possible to create a header version with a theme builder that is only visible on mobile devices? Absolutely, you can do that. In fact, I did something similar last week where I showed you how to do the footer, but I don't mind, I can show you this again. So let me just log into my website here and show you how to do it. Okay, so I'm just logging in. Right, so I'm logged into my website right here. So I'm using my Genesis template. In fact, let me just show you what the site looks like. So this is what the website looks like. So it has the Genesis template. And by the way, the Genesis template is only $9. It comes with the footer, a header, a 404 page, and a search results page. So once you purchase this, it's very easy to go in and customize the colors and so on. In fact, let me show you how you would go in and customize it. So now I'm just going to go to Divi Theme Builder, and this is the actual template. So you can actually go in here and make changes to this. So let's answer the question. We want this header to only show on mobile devices. So if I go in here into the settings, I can start working on this. So I'll go into my section settings here, click on advanced, and then I'm going to go to visibility, and I can disable this on desktop and tablet, and then it's only going to show on the phone. So once you've done that, you save it, and pretty much that's what you need to do if you want to show it on mobile devices only. Or is it the opposite? Let me take a look at the question again. Yes, so that's how you do it. That is how you create a header that is only visible on mobile devices. Elisa says, why can I resize my logo on for mobile in Divi? You can resize it. Again, you would go into your settings. Let me show you quickly. If you go here into your settings, so I'm just going to disable what I just done. I'm going to go in and go to advanced, and then under under visibility, I'm just going to disable this because I want it to show. All right, so let's go in here and see if we can change the size of our logo. So I'm just going to go into my layers here so I can locate my logo. So here it is. If I click here on this gear icon, it's going to take me to the logo itself. So what you want to do is to go to design, sizing. So here is where you can choose what size you want your logo to be. So if you take a look here at the top, right now it's increasing. I've just increased it to 40%. On the tablet, I can say, okay, let's increase it a bit more as well. But this time it's going to be, let's say 48. And on the phone, let's increase it to about let's say 70. If you save that, that is how you change the sizes on the 3 different views. So if we take a look again, you can see here that I have changed it. So you have to make sure that you have your logo here as an image and then you link it to your website. Okay, so let's take a look here. If we have more questions. Right, Sufyan says how to create a global header with scrolling and zoom effects. Now, I haven't tried that. This is something that I've made a note. So I'm going to actually do that in one of my tutorials. And if it works out okay with no bugs, I'm actually going to add it to the Genesis template. Okay. Samar says, I also have a channel for Divi tutorials. Please check it out. Yeah, I'll take a look at it. Apunte, I think, says, can you put a video background that works on mobile phone? Unfortunately, no. You can't do that currently with Divi. The video background only works on desktop. So as soon as you switch to mobile views, it doesn't work. So yes, that is the challenge that we have at the moment. Okay, so moving on, let's see. Naam says, Divi dynamic content, how we can style the before and after when setting it up. Right, it is possible, and I've also made a list of tutorials that I'll be doing on dynamic content using advanced custom fields. So that is coming up very, very soon. Monique says, greetings everyone. For some reason, my notification, that is strange. Have you pressed the bell notification on the subscribe on the YouTube channel? Because that is what allows you to get the notification. So if you hit the bell notification, you should be getting these alerts. But these Q&As are just going to be on Mondays around 6 p.m. UK time. But I am going to continue with our VIP workshops back on either Fridays or Saturdays. Right now, I've just changed my my software for streaming because I've been having a problem with the streaming. Right now, YouTube seems to be the only one that's working. So I'm going to start with the Q&As and then we're going to go back to our live workshops where we work on different projects for the VIP members. But for this one, please make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification on subscribe. Right. Oh, okay. The question now about the header is, I would like to create a header with the theme builder that's only visible on the cell, but would like to keep the classic version of the desktop version. No, that doesn't work. As soon as you activate the header in the theme builder, it disables the old school classic one. So it's either the theme builder or the classic. So you can't have both. Okay. Lisa says, I really struggle with mobile breakpoints and adjust content and images for mobile. Do I adjust in CSS? Right. This is something that I'm also waiting to see this as an update when it comes to, with Divi, because the breakpoints are very specific, but as you all know, we have different breakpoints when it comes to our mobile devices. So it doesn't really work correct all the time. So the three views that we have in Divi are very misleading, or in fact with other page builders, they're very misleading because they just show us specific breakpoints on the two devices. But if you're using a device like this, for example, the size is different to this mobile. So it's going to have different breakpoints. And this is really a problem. But I've heard from other developers and designers that they actually do it in CSS. I haven't tried it yet, but this is something that I am experimenting with, or I'm going to experiment with. And once I get it right, I am going to do a tutorial showing you how to do it. So thanks, Lisa, for your question. Elisa says, can you show us how to be as cool as Mac? I don't even know that, that I'm cool. So anyway, thanks for the compliment. Appreciate it. Sufyan says, can we use scrolling effects for slider, header, and sub-header fields? No, I haven't tried it, Sufyan. This is something that I think I mentioned it earlier on. I am going to be playing around with it and see if I can achieve that. And once I achieve it and it works well, I'll be adding it onto the Genesis template and also do a tutorial on how to do it. Eliza says, is it possible to show a different picture on hover? Absolutely. In fact, you know what? Let's try and do that. But before I go in and show you how to do that, I would like to remind you that Divi has a 20% discount. It's a birthday for Divi. So it's 20% off when you buy Divi. And if you buy Divi using my affiliate link, I'll also give you access to my Divi, to my WordPress, to my course that teaches you how to design professional looking websites with Divi. It costs about $497. It's called Web Design Formula. So if you buy it using my link, just let me know and I'll give you access to the course. All right, so let us do that hover and see if that works. I'm going to switch over here to my site and let's exit out of here. So now I'm just going to go to a page and let's just call this page hover. Use Divi Builder. So for this, I'm going to build from scratch. I'm just going to add 2 equal columns here. And I'm going to set this as an image. Okay, so now I'm going to choose an image here that I'm going to use. So I'm just looking at these images. I'm trying to look for an image that is going to be the same size. So that's 800 by 500. Okay, so I'm going to use these two. So I'm going to use this one here as my first image. So if we want to apply a hover effect to this image, I'm going to come over here to my hover and I am going to go in here and add a different image. Click upload an image. So now we have this image here on hover and this image here as the normal state. Save this. Let's give this a dark background so we can see it clearly. So I'm just going to go to my layers, go into my section settings here and just add a really dark background. Okay, so now let's test this and see if it's working. So I'm going to save it and I'm going to exit the Visual Builder. So now you can see when I hover, it's changing the image. See that? Very easy to do. So try it out, see how it works for you. All right, so let's take a look here. I want to see if we have more questions. All right, so the next question here is from Pavel. Mobile breakpoints is not work correctly for text size. Would you explain? For text, for mobile breakpoints, I would use VW. I did a demonstration last time. If you use VW for your font sizes, it adjusts itself as you're going to different screen sizes. So that's what I would use for text if you want to have a pretty good mobile friendly website. Right. Sai Real says, I hope I'm pronouncing it well, Sai. Sai says, I appreciate your tutorial so far. How do you get your design ideas? Okay. That's a very good question. And this is actually something very important if you're a designer. In most cases, if you get, let's say, a design brief, you're not just going to come up with the actual design idea right away. So what I normally do is I go to websites like Behance and look for web design inspiration. So that's where I get ideas of how to design my layouts or how to design the website. So it's very important that you go to a website that has a lot of inspiration before you can actually start designing your website. In fact, in my web design formula course, I actually talk about inspiration. So inspiration is the very first step before you start designing your website. So yes, I do have websites that I go to, that I take a look at. Behance is one of them, AWWeber. In fact, let me show you these websites. So AWWW Okay, this is the first one here. So this one here is really cool because you get to see like websites that win the awards. So they have like their own award system. So let's say you want to design a restaurant type website. If you take a look at this, it gives you an idea of what the website is going to be. So I really like the use of colors here and the shapes. And this is a really good site. Really like that. And I also like the animations here. I'm not sure if it's a hover effect. So let's go and visit the website and see what it really looks like. My internet is quite slow here, so just bear with me. Oh, there we go. So we have a video background here. I mean, look at the use of colors. Amazing. And the animations, the background colors there. Really nice and vibrant. So these are the sort of sites that I would look at for inspiration. So I would go through some of these. Another place which is really good is Behance. So Behance also has really good websites for inspiration. So again, let's take a look at this one here. Video background. Simple website. I like simplicity when it comes to websites. In fact, I've just done a tutorial on UI design. I mean, look at that footer. Nice, simple, very, very clean. And I'm pretty sure if you take a look at the Genesis template, I try to make it as clean as possible so that it can be adapted to pretty much any type of website. All right, so let's take a look at more questions here. Apunte, I think, says, what do you think about Divi for SEO? I mean, loading, HTML code, light size page. Right, very good question. When it comes to Divi performance, I think most of it is going to be based on your hosting and how you optimize your website. Out of the box, any page builder has to be optimized. You're going to need caching. You need a caching plugin. You also need to compress your images on your website. So it doesn't matter which page builder you use, you're going to need to optimize it. So same applies with Divi. If you use Divi out of the box without any caching plugins, without any image optimization or image compression, and also if you don't choose a good hosting company, it's going to be slow. It's going to be really slow. So you're going to need a very good hosting company. You need some plugins to compress your images, and you also need to cache your website. That is what's going to make it really fast. So in terms of speed, I would say Divi is on par with other page builders out there. So I wouldn't think that the other page builders are necessarily faster. I would say pretty much they're all the same, but it's the optimization that makes your website really fast. And we'll be covering how to make your website fast as well in future videos. So keep an eye and make sure you're subscribed onto the YouTube channel for updates. All right, so let's move on. I got more questions coming here. Bloom, again, this is one of those tutorials I need to revisit. It's been a while since I worked on the Bloom tutorials. So I will be showing you how to do pop-ups and also email opt-ins. Sufyan, you know what? You read my mind. I have, in fact, let me read the question so everyone knows what I'm talking about. So Sufyan says, is there any third-party Divi plugins that we can get already pre-made designed sections, and how to get it from Elements instead of the web landing pages broken, etc. broken to Divi support team? They say it soon. If you are a member, a VIP member of funnelstoincome.com, you'll notice that in your dashboard, I've added a section called UI kits. So the plan or the idea behind the UI kits is I am going to be designing sections that are going to be, for sale, obviously, if you're not a VIP member, but you're going to be able to go in there and just choose which section design you want, download it, and apply it onto your website right away. So I'm going to make the web design process really, really easy for a lot of you out there. So this is a feature that I'm actually working on. I'm going to be designing these section designs for hero areas, for blurbs, for testimonials and so on. So I'm going to be putting all these together. In fact, I'm in the process of doing that right now. So this is going to be a feature or a product that's going to be out there for VIP members. It's going to be very exciting. So when you design your website, especially if you're a freelancer, you can just go into your membership, download the sections that you need, and that's it. You've got your layouts ready to go. So you'll be able to design a website in under 30 minutes. I'll pretty much guarantee that. Or at least the layout, it's going to be done really fast. So there's no plugin that I know about, but it's a service that I'll be bringing to VIP members. Elise, yes, there are plugins out there. In fact, you know what? Let me make a full tutorial about how to make your website fast. I'm gonna make a note of it here. How to make your website fast. Okay, so I've made a note of that. So in the next few days, you're going to see that tutorial. So make sure you're signed up and you've hit the bell notification. And also, guys, do me a favor. If you haven't liked this video, or if you do like it, please give me a thumbs up on this video. It helps, with this video being promoted to more and more people. So please give it a like and do share it as well. I'd appreciate it if you could do that for me. All right, so moving on. Um, Mr. Pavel, I did say I'm going to do a tutorial, so I'm working on a tutorial to on how to make your websites faster. Elise says, I want to know about your Divi course. Right, let me add the link in the video description here so I can show you where that course is. So pretty much this course teaches you how to design professional looking websites using Divi. I mean, it's a complete course. It covers a lot of information, even things like design principles, because a lot of these tutorials that I do and a lot of tutorials you see online, they are going to be talking about, oh, click here to achieve this. I know I do those tutorials as well, but this is why those tutorials are mainly geared to people that know what they're doing. So when I created this course, I created it with a design aspect in mind, because when you design websites, you need to know the fundamentals, like the design principles, like when to use fonts, how many fonts you're going to use, how to choose colors, how to apply contrast onto your website, how to add white space as you're designing your site, how to make your website easy to read, how to make your website simple. So these are the things that I cover in the web design formula. In fact, let me add this link in the video description so you can take a look at it. So it's a fully fledged tutorial, and it's always going to be updated as Divi adds new features. So once you buy it once, you're going to have access to it pretty much forever, you know? How to make a church website? Yes, I can make a note of that. Okay, I've added that to the list of videos. If you haven't noticed, there's a lot of tutorials coming out on the YouTube channel, pretty much on a daily basis. So keep an eye on that. I'm producing a lot of tutorials out there to help you guys design awesome looking websites. So make sure you're subscribed and you hit the bell notification. Okay, so any more questions here? Okay, so it looks like we don't have more questions. Okay, so I guess that's all we have for today's live Q&A. So make a date in your calendar every Monday between 6 and 6:30 p.m. UK time, or GMT UK. So I'll just make a list of questions in the YouTube channel, and then I'll answer them on the live Q&A. And also, if you tune in, I'll also be able to answer your questions live, like what I've just done today. So for those of you that joined me today, I'd like to thank you so much for joining me. Really appreciate it. So let's meet again on Monday next week. And guys, keep safe and take care of yourselves because of this situation happening out there. All right, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next Monday. Take care.